Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks or dramatic entrances. Sometimes it sneaks in quietly, during shared laughs, long conversations, and moments when no one is really looking. That's exactly how Mel and Peg's story unfolded, softly, unexpectedly, and beautifully. When the Golden Bachelor journey began, few people imagined that these two would become one of the most talked about connections. They didn't rush. They didn't try to impress. They simply showed up as themselves, and somehow that made all the difference. Mel had always carried himself with calm confidence. He wasn't loud or flashy. Instead, he listened more than he spoke, smiled more than he bragged, and had a warmth that felt familiar. Peg, on the other hand, brought light into every room she entered. Her laughter was contagious, her honesty refreshing, and her humor perfectly timed, especially when things got awkward, which, let's be honest, happened often. At first, their connection looked like a friendship, the kind that feels safe, comfortable, easy. They shared jokes, supported each other through emotional moments, and seemed genuinely happy just being around one another. Fans noticed it right away, even if Mel and Peg didn't fully realize what was happening yet. There was no dramatic confession early on, no grand gestures. Instead, there were lingering glances, conversations that lasted longer than planned, and smiles that appeared without warning. The kind of smiles that happen when feelings start growing before logic can catch up. As the season progressed, something shifted. Their conversations deepened, laughter slowly mixed with vulnerability. Stories from the past, heartbreaks, lessons, and missed chances came to the surface, and in those honest moments they found understanding instead of judgment. What made their bond special was how real it felt. This wasn't about chasing youth or pretending time hadn't passed. It was about embracing life exactly as it is, wrinkles, experiences, scars, and all. Mel and Peg weren't trying to be perfect. They were simply present. Fans began rooting for them hard. Social media buzzed with comments pointing out their chemistry. Viewers noticed how Mel's face lit up when Peg walked into a room, and how Peg seemed calmer, more grounded whenever Mel was near. It wasn't loud romance. It was steady, reassuring, and deeply emotional. And then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Without theatrics, without pressure, Mel and Peg finally confirmed what many already suspected. They were in love. The reveal wasn't about shocking anyone. It felt natural, like a truth that had been waiting patiently to be spoken. When they shared their feelings, it wasn't just romantic, it was powerful. Two people later in life choosing vulnerability over fear, choosing connection over caution. There was humor, too. They joked about how love doesn't follow schedules, how they didn't expect to find something so meaningful, and how life still manages to surprise you when you least expect it. Their laughter reminded everyone watching that love doesn't have an expiration date. For Peg, it was about finally being seen and chosen for who she truly is. For Mel, it was about opening his heart again, even after everything life had thrown his way. Together, they proved that love doesn't fade with age, it evolves. What resonated most with fans was how gentle their love felt. No chaos, no competition, just two people walking side by side, choosing each other every day. In a world full of dramatic reality TV moments, their story stood out by being sincere. Their confirmation wasn't just a win for them, it felt like a win for everyone who still believes in second chances, for anyone who's ever wondered if love could still find them later in life, for anyone who's been afraid to open their heart again. Mel and Peg didn't just find love, they reminded people why love matters. Their journey shows that romance doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes the quietest love stories leave the deepest impact.
And sometimes the best chapters begin after you think the story is already written. As fans continue to celebrate their relationship, one thing is clear. This isn't just a reality TV romance. It's a reminder that love shows up when hearts are ready, not when calendars say it should. And if this story proves anything, it's that love truly wins at any age. If stories like this make you smile, believe, and maybe even hope a little more, stay close, because there are always more beautiful journeys
Doesn't
worth
always
sharing.
knock loudly. Sometimes it waits patiently, sitting right beside you, pretending to be friendship until one quiet moment changes everything. That's exactly how Mel and Peg's love story unfolded, slowly, honestly, and in the most unexpected way. When they first met on the Golden Bachelor journey, neither of them walked in looking for fireworks. They weren't chasing drama or trying to compete for attention. They were simply two people open to connection, open to conversation, and open to whatever life still had waiting for them. Mel brought a gentle confidence with him. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He spoke thoughtfully, listened deeply, and carried a calm energy that made people feel safe. Peg, on the other hand, had a spark that instantly drew people in. Her humor came naturally, her honesty felt refreshing, and her warmth made even the most awkward moments feel comfortable. At first, their bond looked innocent, friendly, easy. They laughed together, teased each other, and shared moments that felt genuine rather than performative. Many viewers noticed something special long before either of them admitted it. That comfortable silence, the way they leaned in during conversations, the way their smiles lingered just a second longer than necessary. As time went on, their connection quietly deepened. Conversations moved beyond surface-level topics. They talked about their pasts, the loves they had lost, the mistakes they had learned from, and the hopes they weren't sure they were allowed to have anymore. Instead of fear, they found understanding. There was something incredibly powerful about watching two people at this stage of life choose vulnerability. No games, no pretending, just honesty. They didn't rush into anything, and that made their growing feelings feel even more real. And yes, there were funny moments too. Awkward silences that turned into laughter, playful teasing that felt like flirting before they even realized it was flirting, little jokes that only the two of them understood. Their chemistry wasn't loud, it was natural. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Viewers noticed how Mel seemed more relaxed around Peg, how his smile softened when she spoke. Peg, too, appeared more confident, more grounded, like she finally felt seen without having to explain herself. Then came the moment when everything became clear. Mel and Peg finally confirmed what hearts had already known. They were in love. The confirmation wasn't dramatic or staged. It felt like a shared truth finally spoken out loud. Two people admitting that somewhere between the laughter and late-night conversations, something real had grown, something worth protecting. Their story hit differently because it wasn't about chasing youth or reliving the past. It was about accepting the present and believing the future could still be beautiful. They showed that romance doesn't fade with age, it matures. Peg spoke openly about feeling chosen, valued, and appreciated. Mel shared how opening his heart again wasn't easy, but how Peg made it feel safe. Together, they showed what emotional security looks like and why it matters. For so many viewers, their story felt personal. It spoke to anyone who had ever loved and lost, anyone who thought their chance had passed, anyone who wondered if it was too late to believe again. Mel and Peg proved that love doesn't operate on a timeline. It arrives when two people are ready, not when society expects it. What made their story truly special was how calm it felt. No chaos, no rivalry, just two people choosing kindness, patience, and connection. In a world full of fast romances, theirs felt like a deep breath. Their journey reminds us that love doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. It needs honesty, it needs courage, and sometimes it needs time. As their story continues, one thing remains certain. They didn't just find love on a show. They reminded millions that hearts never stop hoping, no matter how many years have passed. And if this journey teaches us anything, it's that love wins, not because it's loud, but because it's real. If stories like Mel and Peg's make you believe that beautiful things can still happen, then keep that hope close, because life always has another chapter waiting to be written. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.